The fight over this nomination is not just about one person. It is about who should lead the FBI at a time when public trust in federal law enforcement is at historic lows. This hearing quickly turns into a test of credibility, judgment, and whether past rhetoric should disqualify someone from running one of the most powerful investigative agencies in the country.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, I think you know that I have great respect for the men and women of the FBI, their mission, fidelity, bravery, integrity. I believe they deserve a director who respects their work and sacrifices, and they deserve a director who's focused on their mission. This is not about bingo cards or games. This is not about revenge. This is about the safety of our country and the people that work in the FBI. And the FBI runs on facts, it runs on truth. Truth matters, and without truth, the whole system breaks down. You said that Donald Trump has every right to tell the world that in 2020, 2016, and every other election in between was rigged by our government because they were. Yes or no, did you say that?
I don't have that statement in front of me. But
okay, that was from August 27th, 2023 Thrive Time show. I'll put it on the record. These claims made in that statement were rejected by courts, including by Republican judges. Is that correct?
I don't have enough of the facts in front of me to make that assessment.
I will put that statement on the record, but I think everyone in this committee, including the Republican members, knows that these statements were rejected by courts. You were asked about the police officers in the Capitol who testified in the January 6 hearings, and you accused them of lying. Is that correct or not correct?
I don't think that's accurate.
Okay, Joe Packed podcast, March 2024, we'll put it on the record. I was there. The police officers were heroes that day.
Yes.
Did you post on your personal social media account in May of 2024, January 6th, never an insurrection, cowards in uniforms exposed. They broke the chain of command.
I believe you're referencing a post that was shown in part earlier. I don't have it in front of me.
You posted it, and it was on your account, and we will again put that out there once more as we go on. I don't want to lose any more time on this, but every one of these, there's a record of it, and you haven't answered. You promoted a COVID vaccine reversal or detox supplement. One scientist said, I quote, "None of these substances in any form would minimize side effects from a COVID-19 vaccine." That is preying on innocent people. Did you perform clinical trials before you made that claim?
I'm not a doctor, so no.
But you did promote this supplement and told people that it would reverse or mitigate the side effects from COVID vaccine.
Did I give people an opportunity to make an independent choice for what's best for their families? Yes.
You did that last year, correct?
I don't have it in front of me again, Senator.
Mr. Patel, the FBI tackles some of the most complex threats that we face: terrorists, hostile foreign powers, violent gangs, fentanyl, criminal organizations. Your mission, though, has been to go after people. I've looked at it. I've read this stuff. Yes or no? When Trump wins, did you say this? When Trump wins in 2024 and is in power in 2025, we can prosecute them, referring to Justice Department officials for an actual RICO statute violation, for criminally organizing the United States government to break the law to rig presidential elections. Did you say that, yes or no?
Again, Senator, you're reading a partial statement, so I'm unable to fully respond.
Okay, again, we'll put it on the record. X22 report podcast 20, that is from, I'll get you the date, about a year ago. One of the names on your list was Bill Barr. Chairman Grassley has called him one of the most capable cabinet officials I've ever been able to vote for. Senator Graham has said, I have nothing but total respect and admiration for the job done by William Barr as Attorney General of the United States. Is Bill Barr on your list of whatever you want to call them, been referred to as an enemies list? You've called them deep state after serving his country as the Attorney General of the United States. Is he on your list because of a personal vendetta?
Well, it's not whatever we want to call it, Senator. With all due respect, it's not an enemies list. That is a total mischaracterization.
I asked you, I actually used the words you used for the list, which was deep state, right? That's what you put at the top.
It is a glossary
against
in
the
the
Attorney
back.
General of the United States. Is it because of a personal vendetta that he's on the list? You're under oath.
I have no personal vendetta against Bill
Okay,
Barr.
he said about you, you would never be able to command the respect necessary to run the day-to-day operations of the Bureau. That was actually in writing in his book. He had virtually, about you, no experience that would qualify you to serve at the highest level of the world's preeminent law enforcement agency, and that your appointment, as noted by Senator Durbin as Deputy Director to the FBI, would happen over his dead body. Is it, yes or no, why you would put him on the list of deep state as a former Attorney General, Trump Attorney General of the United States, because he wouldn't break the law for Donald Trump? Is that why?
Absolutely not.
As you know, he repeatedly told the president in no uncertain terms that he did not see evidence of fraud that would have affected the outcome of the election. Did you say in February of 2021 that the election stuff was never my job and I stayed out of that stuff?
Again, I don't know what comment you're referring to, but I'm sure you're reading a piece of something.
You said it on Pushback on a podcast. Is it true, though, that in December of 2020, you reached out to the Trump acting Deputy Attorney General and asked him to investigate a conspiracy theory claiming that people in Italy had used military technology and satellites to remotely tamper with voting machines in the U.S. and switch votes for Trump from Trump to Biden? Is that true?
What was the date?
That was out of December of 2020.
I was Chief of Staff to the Department of Defense, so I don't believe that's accurate in any way.
Okay, that came out of testimony before Congress. I will give it to you. Have you referred to the media as the most powerful enemy of the United States that they have ever seen? Is that right?
Again, you're reading a quote. I take that you're reading it accurately.
CPAC 223-24. You said we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens who helped Joe Biden rig the elections. We're going to come after you whether it's criminally or civilly. Is that something you said?
That's a partial statement of what I said.
Steve Bannon's podcast. You also said you would put the entire fake news mafia press corps on your list. Is that correct? Is that what you said?
I don't have that in front of me.
Benny Johnson's podcast, 8/21/23. You have said that the FBI, including today, you said that they remain utterly corrupt. This is an agency with agents who have taken down terrorists, taken down bank robbers, taken down crime. And you wrote that the FBI has become so thoroughly compromised that it will remain a threat to the people unless drastic measures are taken. Do you know that under Chris Wray's leadership, he took over at a very difficult time, we all know that, appointed by President Trump, that during his tenure, the applications to the FBI has in fact tripled? Do you think people would be applying to that agency, like in those numbers, if they thought it was so corrupt?
The American public's trust in it is at 40%. That's an all-time low.
Did you say that the FBI headquarters should be shut down and reopened as a museum of the deep state?
Mr. Chairman, are we allowed to go an extra time?
Let's see, you get a second round. Before I call on Senator Lee.
Could he just answer the question if he said that the FBI headquarters, where they investigate cybercrime and terrorism, should be shut down and opened as a deep state?
Hey, Mr. Chair.
As a museum. Did he say that the headquarters should be shut down?
Mr. Chair.
I deserve an answer to that question. He is asking to be head of the FBI, and he said that their headquarters should be shut down.
Mr. Chair, parliamentary inquiry.
You got anything you want to say, Mr. Patel, before I go on to Senator Lee?
Simply this. If the best attacks on me are going to be
This exchange matters because it centers on whether a nominee to lead the FBI has the judgment, credibility, and restraint required to run one of the country's most powerful law enforcement agencies. What unfolds is a sharp clash over past statements, public trust in the FBI, and how political rhetoric intersects with national security. The scene comes from a Senate hearing examining the nomination of Kash Patel to become FBI director. Lawmakers are questioning Patel about his past public comments, media appearances, and social media posts alongside his views on the FBI elections and the rule of law. The questioning is intense, reflecting the high stakes of placing someone in charge of an agency responsible for counterterrorism, counterintelligence, and federal criminal investigations. One senator opens by emphasizing respect for FBI agents and their mission. He frames his questions as being about safety, truth, and leadership, not personal animosity. He challenges Patel over past statements in which Patel appeared to suggest that U.S. elections were rigged. The senator notes that courts, including those led by Republican judges, rejected those claims. Patel repeatedly responds that he does not have the specific statements in front of him and says he cannot fully confirm or deny the characterizations being read aloud. The questioning then shifts to January 6. The senator cites past comments in which Patel allegedly accused Capitol Police officers of lying and suggested that January 6 was not an insurrection. The senator stresses that officers who testified about that day were heroes and presses Patel on whether such rhetoric undermines trust in law enforcement. Attention then turns to Patel's promotion of a supplement he claimed could reverse or mitigate COVID-19 vaccine side effects. The senator asks whether Patel conducted any clinical trials. Patel acknowledges he is not a doctor and says he offered people a choice. The exchange raises concerns about responsibility and accuracy when making health-related claims to the public. The questioning becomes more pointed when the senator cites remarks in which Patel allegedly suggested prosecuting Justice Department officials after a future election, including under racketeering statutes. Patel responds that the statements are being read in part and says he cannot address them without full context. The senator says the full statements will be entered into the record. The focus then shifts to Patel's past criticism of former Attorney General Bill Barr. The senator asks whether Barr was placed on what Patel previously referred to as a deep state list, and whether that reflected a personal vendetta. Patel denies any personal animus and rejects the idea that such a list was an enemies list. The senator counters by noting Barr publicly questioned Patel's qualifications to lead the FBI and asks whether disagreement over election claims played a role. Further questions address reports that Patel promoted conspiracy theories about foreign interference in U.S. voting machines and referred to the media as an enemy of the country. Again, Patel says the quotes are partial or mischaracterized and says he cannot confirm them as read. The senator continues by citing statements in which Patel allegedly called the FBI corrupt and suggested shutting down FBI headquarters and turning it into a museum. Patel is then given an opportunity to respond more broadly. He says the accusations against him are false and misrepresented, and argues that such attacks harm the credibility of FBI employees. He points to his own government service and says he has been endorsed by hundreds of thousands of law enforcement officers. The senator responds that he is quoting Patel's own words and reiterates that facts matter. The exchange then spills briefly into procedural debate over time limits and order, underscoring the charged atmosphere of the hearing. Before moving on, a statement from dozens of former FBI agents supporting Patel's nomination is entered into the record, praising his experience and calling for reform within the agency. In the end, the hearing highlights a central tension facing the Senate. Supporters argue Patel represents reform and change at a moment of low public trust in federal law enforcement. Critics question whether his past statements and rhetoric are compatible with leading an agency that relies on public confidence, neutrality, and adherence to facts. How senators weigh those concerns will shape the outcome of the nomination and the future direction of the FBI,